Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you were here. Today I had some things I wanted to talk about the show, but once again, we're not discussing the show, you guys. We are not discussing the show because whether it is drama off the show or on social media or whatever behind the scenes, that seems to take over and be the focus, right? And notice none of this social media stuff really ever makes the show, you guys. But for some reason, the cast members, certain cast members, are all in on the plot and are active on social media anytime all of this stuff goes on, anytime the drama gets, exposed, or a cast member goes down, or there's infighting between a couple of people, somehow certain cast members are right there and available to go live. Do you ever wonder why that is? Right? Because all it tells me is that this is bigger than what actually is happening. And what is happening is a lot of people are being set up. And a lot of people are being set up so that all of us can be distracted with other nonsense and take our focus off of the show and how awful the show has been. Right? And how awful some of these cast members have been. And how they've treated some of the cast members, in particular, some of the women. But instead, we are filling content with all of this social media drama. And we have lost the plot once again. We're no longer talking about Melody Cherie, you guys. I don't know if you guys keep peeping this, right? Notice anytime Melody Cherie has an issue, and she finally comes forward to reveal what the issue is after being silent about it for months. Do you ever notice somehow there's another expose around the corner about somebody else, so that any of you that like Melody Cherie, any of you that support Melody Cherie, any of you that consider yourself a true millimeter that stands on business, you're no longer talking about being supportive of Melody Cherie and being there for Melody Cherie. You're now pulled in to this other chaos that is not about having sympathy for Melody Cherie or wanting prayers or thoughts or whatever for Melody Cherie. Do you ever notice that? Because even with this Kiki expose stuff, right? On, whether or not her and her mom allegedly were calling bloggers, trying to set things into motion as if Melody Cherie did something wrong on the Houston trip because, basically the Scots voted for her allegedly not to stay at the vacation home for their cast trip or whatever, right? But people fail to realize around that time, wasn't that when the Revenge P information was exposed by Carson Blue? And ultimately, Melody Cherie got on live and confirmed those allegations, and also did another live, I believe with a therapist or something, to talk about healing and mental health and all of those things. And again, we're not talking about Melody Cherie anymore. Do you guys notice that? And like I keep telling you, the way that certain people have decided to infiltrate this space of people who discuss love and marriage Huntsville is to target specific people who either are vulnerable or they know that it'll quickly change up to push their agenda in the event that they contact them and give them the green light, right? And unfortunately, some people have taken the bait. And I don't even think some people realize that they've taken the bait. Because we're no longer talking about Melody Cherie and how boundaries need to be set and how it is a very thin line in this, new space of quote unquote journalism, in which, you're reporting on the show, you're reporting your reactions to the show, you're reporting on any news on the show. But then some people take it a step further, right? And then some people have personal relationships with certain people, right, that are affiliated with the show. And then some people make up that they have certain relationships with people who are on the show and affiliated with the show that people believe and pay money to believe it. But then it comes out months later that that wasn't actually the case, right? So there's a lot of chaos and distractions that are taking place right now that I don't think many are peeping game on, but I'm peeping game. Because I had a whole breakdown video on this whole Kiki situation, and I thought about it, and I'm like, and it's uploaded, it's private or whatever, but I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm not contributing to the chaos. If the focus is Melody Cherie, that's where it needs to be. Right? Just like when the Revenge P was exposed around the time of this cast trip, right, over the summer. And once Melody Cherie confirmed those allegations, remember how it was crickets among the cast and Carlos King? Remember that? But they were quick to distract you with other stuff, right? And post about how good of a time that they were having together on this Houston trip, right? Do you peep game? Do you peep what's happening? To try to take down Melody Cherie, you're not going to be able to do it at this point, and trying to stop support of any of her brands, any of, 7th Avenue, any of her merchandise, any of her property management courses, any of her speaking engagements, any of her music, any acting gigs that she has. You're not going to be able to infiltrate Melody Cherie that way. That way is not working, because receipts upon receipts show that if you're a diehard Mellometer, no matter what, if you're a diehard Melody Cherie supporter, no matter what, you're still going to purchase her products no matter what is or isn't going on the show. But now, like I've said, ever since that Funky Dineva Awards, where certain people were called out and certain people have shied away from talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville as a result, that the same approach is happening now of certain people, certain other cast members now being at the forefront, right? Kiki, who we've barely seen as of late on the show, now all of a sudden is dominating the headlines, right? And whatever is going to come of this Stormy situation, whether or not Letitia and her mom are really going to be about that life when it pertains to Stormy, or if it is just another temporary distraction to have their bigger plan of attack on how they can try to get Melody Cherie off of the show. Which she's not going to quit, by the way. Because why would she quit her own show, you guys? I mean, seriously. But that's what I want to talk about here, you guys, is how people are continuing to set up other people conveniently or online when everything blows up in smoke. Conveniently are on certain platforms laughing about Kiki's expose and all of these other things. And we're no longer talking about the actual story of what actually took place, which ultimately was what Melody Cherie had revealed to us. And how it can be a thin line sometimes when you have some of these relationships with people. Right? That there's a level of professionalism, and there are some people who might have personal connections and personal relationships with each other. But unfortunately, sometimes not everybody has genuine intentions. Right? Remember when we were all on the same accord? When we were all on the same page? When it was like blacking out, signing petitions, not watching the show, calling out the wrong behavior that was taking place on the show. Remember that? Remember how long ago that was? When we were all on, the same page with everything? Now we've branched out into all these exposés, and we've lost the plot, you guys, once again. We have lost the plot once again, which is holding these people accountable on the show and having effective change take place on the show. We didn't like what took place with Letitia's mom, and she was no longer on the show. We didn't like that Destiny was not giving us any type of storyline, but wanted to make her feud with Melody Sharia storyline, and she's no longer on the show. And now some people are making Kiki their storyline so that they can avoid talking about their actual lives on the show. And nothing is going to happen because they're part of the original cast. But if people peep game of who is actually behind the Kiki stuff and why it is coming out now, you would see that it is all a distraction. You would see that this was planned. You would see that this was on purpose. And that this was going to be the next plan of attack. And that there's another plan of attack that's going to come. That's going to be another distraction. That's going to once again pull you away from talking about what needs to change about this show. And unfortunately, none of it's going to be on the show, regardless of what people say, right? But it's going to dominate social media. And the same people that are laughing about this Kiki expose are going to be laughing about the next expose that they're behind. And everybody's just going to follow along, but no. We need to stay focused, you guys. We need to stay focused as to why the show continues to not be about Black entrepreneurship. Why this show continues to not show us reality and show us foolishness. Why we are being subjected to fake storylines by certain cast members who want to hide behind real storylines so that they don't have to tell their truth. That's what we need to be staying on task about, you guys. Because until then, it's going to be more of the same. And that is divide and conquer. And that is continuing to cause chaos, continuing to cause discord, continuing to take the conversation away from the show. And try to do all these exposés on all these other people. And try to have all of these infighting taking place. And you're no longer focused in on the show and what positive changes need to happen on the show for the show to continue. So that's all I have to say on that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.